Alright guys, today I'm going to show you how I'm going to make a tropical smoothie. This is pretty simple. I like to stick to very basic ingredients for this. I'll start with my base. It's some ice and coconut water. I opened up a coconut a few minutes ago and I poured some of the water in here. As you can see, this is pretty fresh. So try to always use a fresh coconut. It's not the same as the one you buy from the shelf, which is pasteurized and a lot of the rich nutrients are stripped off from it. If you can get coconuts, then use a non-pasteurized version. They sell them. I've seen them around. They're a little bit more pricey, but they're worth it. Let's start with the fruit here. I have some papaya. I'm gonna put that in. I really like this papaya. Look how red it is. I usually eat it raw, but I'm gonna put it in the smoothie in this time. This will give it some sweetening and some texture. A little bit of fats in there. Going with pineapple. I really like pineapple in my smoothies. It gives it that freshness. Moving on, I have a half of an apple. This is a Royal Gala apple. That gives it a bit of sweetness and all those nutritions that you get from apples. So it's very high in sugars. If you're if you have some kind of condition, try to avoid apples as much as you can. They're not really that good. Moving on, the goji berries. That gives it a bit of a berry twist into it. You don't want to use a lot of those because they're going to be overpowering in the final product. So I'm just going to use a few. Put them in. And they go. Finally, I like to put a little bit of lemon. Not that much, to give it some citrus in there. Be careful not to put a lot. You don't want that to be too prominent as a flavor. Just a little bit. So I barely use any. You see it here. And finally, out of the fruit, that's a ginger. I just peeled it. I have a bunch here. I like to use ginger. This is gonna give it a very spicy flavor. So if you don't like that spicy flavor, you probably want to use a quarter of this or maybe even half. This might be a little bit too much for most people. I like it, so in it goes. And finally, just to end this, I like to use a little of lucuma just to give it a little bit more sweetness in there. Lucuma is a good fruit, for that kind of purpose. I'm going to use a heaping half teaspoon, and that's all I need. Some people will add cayenne pepper in this. I don't really like to add cayenne pepper, to be honest. I think it's a bit overpowering. I know it's used in a lot of cleansing, diets, a lot of liquid diets and all that stuff. I just don't like it in my smoothies. I think it's strange. I don't think it blends very well. But by all means, if you like it, go ahead and add some, and you can have it. It's definitely not for me. So I'm going to start this to blend right now. The coconut water should be sufficient there. I'm hoping I didn't need a little bit more, but so it just finished. Let's see how the texture comes out. I think the papaya will bring the texture very well together. That's one of the reasons I use it. Ooh, it's all stuck up here. Sometimes I'll replace papaya with mango. This is also another option, or you can put both. You can put a little bit of each, but It looks a little bit thicker than I was expecting. Let's see when I pour it in. Actually, it's not that bad. If you don't want it that thick, I would suggest you put a little bit more coconut water, or just normal water. This is a little bit thicker than I wanted, but it's going to surface. Anyway, cheers.